Hello, myself VL Govindarajan. I am going to take about the residential status of an individual under Income Tax Act of 1961. What is the residential status? Status of an assessee. It is connected with the territorial presence with his country. Status must determine every previous year as it may change from year to year. So, the income tax liability of a taxpayer is based on the residential status in the previous year. Under Income Tax Act 1961, status were classified as number 1 resident and ordinary resident, number 2 resident but not ordinary resident, number 3 non-resident. The determination of the residential status of an individual, tax provisions. First, we have to apply the basic condition. What is the basic condition? Under section 6 subsection 1 of the IT Act 1961, he or she has stayed in India more than 182 days during the previous year, or for individual whose total income exceeds 15 lakhs per annum and not a crew member of the Indian ship, and not a person who leaves India for employment in abroad. These persons only can apply the second basic condition under section 6 subsection 1. He or she has stayed in India more than 60 days during the previous year. Now our previous year is 21-22. He or she has stayed previous years, that is 2021 and 2019-20 and 2018-19 and 2017-18. If an individual satisfies any one of the above basic condition, he is called as resident. Otherwise, he is called non-resident. If resident, the person who satisfies the basic condition is called the resident. He have to satisfy the additional conditions laid down under section 6 subsection 6. He or she has stayed in India as resident in 2 out of 10 previous years preceding 2021-22, and he or she has stayed in India more than 730 days during past 7 previous preceding the relevant previous year 2021-22. If a resident satisfies both basic and additional conditions, he is called resident and ordinary resident, or else he is called resident but not ordinary resident. In short, if an individual satisfies both basic and additional conditions, he is called resident and ordinary resident. If an individual satisfies only the basic condition but he was not able to satisfy the additional condition, means he is called resident but not ordinary resident. If an individual not able to satisfy even the basic condition, is called non-resident. Actually, for the following cases, only the basic condition number 1 is applicable for determining the residential status. The second basic condition must be ignored for the following persons. Who are they? Number 1. Indian citizen leave India during the previous year for an employment outside India. Number 2. Indian citizen being a crew member of Indian ship leave India during the previous year? Number 3. Indian citizen or a person of Indian origin engaged outside India in any employment or business or profession visits India during the previous year and his total income is up to 15 lakhs. So, person of India origin means he or she or either is or our parent or his or grandparent were born in undivided India. Let we see some examples. Practice 1. Mr. Vinayak, an Indian citizen, left India for the first time on 1st August 2021 to England for an employment for a period of 5 years. Determine his status for the assessment year 22-23. So first of all, we have to govern the int. On 1/8/2022, he went away. That means check out. So 2022, 21, 22. He was stayed in India from 1st April 2021 to 31st July 2021. So his total number of presence in India is 122 days. In the month of April 30, in the month of May 31, in the month of June 30, in the month of July 31, the total will be 122. So let we go for the provisions of the Income Tax Act. As per basic condition 6 subsection 1, Vinayak has not satisfied the basic condition. He left India for the employment in England and he has stayed less than 182 days during 2021-22. So he was absolutely non-resident. And in the same pattern we drafted you as example 1. You can practice it. And now we go for practice 2. Mr. Anbu, an Indian citizen, left India for the first time on 15/7/2020 to Japan as business trip and returned to India on 31/12/2021. Determine his residential status for the assessment year 22-23. In the question itself, it was openly stated that its total income of the accounting year is 12 lakhs. That means less than 15 lakhs. What was his status? How we can determine? Shall we go for the int? On 15/7/2020, check out. 31/12/2021 entered in. Based on that, we have to draft a table like this. Accounting year 2021. He stayed in India only 105 days. During 21-22, he stayed only 91 days. So, as per section 6, subsection 1, Mr. Anbu has not satisfied the basic condition. He has stayed less than 182 days during 2021-22 in India. So, he was non-resident. And shall we go for the practice 3? Mr. Singh left India for the first time on 15th March 2019 to Sweden as business trip and returned to India on 10th June 2021. Determine his residential status. So shall we go for the end? Check out. On 15th March 2019, check out. Check out means he went away from India. On 10th June 2021, he entered in. That means check in. So shall we go for our residential status calculation table. Accounting year, stayed outside India, stayed inside India. Based on our calculations, during our accounting year was stayed 295 days in India. As per section 6, subsection 1, he has stayed more than 182 days in India during 21-22, that is 295 days. Hence, he has satisfied the basic conditions, so he was a resident. If we satisfy the basic condition, we can go for the additional condition as per section 6, subsection 6 is Singh stayed as a resident in 2 out of 10 previous years preceding the relevant previous year 21-22. He also satisfied the second additional condition, that is stayed more than 730 days in the past 7 previous years preceding 21-22. That means 1,811 days he stayed in India. So, he has satisfied both basic and additional conditions, hence is resident and ordinary resident. It is a method of determining the residential status of an individual. Okay, thank you.